Today we're going to talk about a beginner step that you need to know before you do any grinds. So to do this, you'll need your skateboard and some kind of a rough ledge, like a sidewalk ledge. It could be at a skate park, it could be on the street somewhere in a parking lot. There's usually sidewalks with curbs like this pretty much anywhere. So I actually had to go to the hospital during the making of this video. I got really lightheaded and dizzy. My vision got blurred. I was really cold. My hands turned cold. I was having a really bad headache and chest pains. So the ambulance actually took me to the hospital. They checked me out. My blood sugar's good. My heart rate and my blood pressure were immaculate, he said. So I'm pretty healthy, not sure what's going on. Let me know in the comment section if you guys know what it could be. So we're gonna work on getting into all the grinds, and then we're gonna work on actually sliding them on a metal ledge. I've been struggling with my videos lately. I felt like I was gonna pass out every single day. I'm not sure what's going on with me. I've had really bad headaches. I never had headaches before. I don't know if I'm having some kind of like a small heat stroke or something like that, but I've been struggling. I can't even think straight when it's really hot now. And I used to really enjoy the hot weather, so I don't know, we'll see what happens. You need to learn to stall on the object first before you can slide it. I think the first stall you need to learn on any ledge is a nose stall, because you don't even have to ollie. You just have to lift up that much and then just push your weight forward onto your nose. And then to get off, all you have to do is put your weight back onto the back foot, roll off. You could also try to just drop into the ledge by just sitting the tail on there, standing on there, putting your front foot right over the bolts, kind of just dropping in, letting the wheels hit, and rolling off with a ledge. So get comfortable with those first. Then when you're doing the axle stall, or like the 50-50 stall, you're gonna be parallel with the ledge. And then what you're gonna do is kind of lean over the ledge, lean your upper body over where you're gonna be ollieing. That's gonna help when you pop, push you forward so that you actually go forward. If you're leaning back, it's almost impossible to get your weight to shift forward when you ollie. Another good tip to getting on the ledge at first is to come at a slight angle and be rolling towards it. That momentum going forward is going to push you towards the ledge. So after you got those two, everything else kind of falls into place, because when you're doing a Smith, all you're doing is landing like you're doing an axle stall or 50-50 and then dipping that front truck down. You're doing a 5-0, you're just lifting it up and putting your weight on the back truck. So all the rest of them are pretty similar. So you can get into that 50-50 or axle stall, land in it, and then you can turn your front shoulder and move into a Smith, or lift up, move into a 5-0. So actually ollie into it, land in it, and then shift into other things. You can even shift into a tail stall, like this. So yeah, with the Smith grind, I would think about doing a 50-50 and then at the last second just dipping that front truck. So come up, act like you're gonna land in a 50-50, land that back truck, and then dip the front truck. So if you're landing on your back truck first and then dipping it, you've already got your weight shifted into the back. So keep your foot way back on the tail, all your weight in the back on this one, because it's really easy to get stuck and fall forward. It's really hard to grind on a rough ledge like this. I think the Indy mids with the upside down or inverted kingpin actually grind worse on rough concrete ledges like this than the regular Indies. So I really do get stuck. I cannot actually Smith grind this, but I can stall it. I think backside grinds are a lot harder. The same thing, when you're doing a backside grind, the first thing you want to do is nose slide, then a board slide, and then after that get into a 50-50 or axle stall. So practice getting into it and then moving into like the back Smith. Get into it, move into a crook. Get into it, move into a back tail. So I think crooks are easier than back tails or back Smiths. With the crook, just make sure you're pinching your heel side wheel and that all your weight is on your heel so you can actually pinch it and slide and lock in. If you lock in too far over here, you're gonna stick, and if your weight is too much on the front of your foot, you're gonna stick, especially if it's something rough like this. So with back tails, I have to come at an angle and kind of do a back 180 into it. So I'm ollieing over the ledge completely, and then I'm shifting my weight like a back 180, like a late back 180. As you can see, my legs are kind of scratched up just from doing this stuff. So I tend to land like this, and if your front wheel is touching, you're just gonna fall off. You're not gonna be able to slide at all. You wanna actually be the opposite. You want a lot of distance here, but the wheel that's in the back to be touching, because then you can actually slide it. So with backsmith, it's pretty similar. I try to go like I'm doing a 50-50 and then dip it at the last second. Because if I don't do that, sometimes I fling it and hit myself in the shin and cut myself. So yeah, ollie up way over the ledge, higher than you normally would for a back 50-50. And then at the last second, kind of tweak it. Push the front down. And then all your weight's in your back foot on your heel on this one. So these concrete ledges are rough and chunky. There's not actually a smooth ledge here with coping or metal on the side of it. So I had to bring my own to this park to show you how to actually slide and grind. So mainly what I'm saying is, when you're learning how to grind, the key is learn how to stall on a rough street ledge or a rough skate park ledge. And then when you actually want to grind, move to something that will actually slide. Because if I tried to grind all of those tricks on that rough street ledge, I would stick, I would probably fall and get hurt. I'd have to go a lot faster and I have to really push through it. But on the metal ledge, any ledge with coping on the side, it's just easier to learn how to slide. So yeah, start out on something rough, move to something slick over time. So I'm skating Indy mids right now. They lock in pretty good, they're pretty low. They have inverted kingpin, and it works good for sliding on this. I do think Thunders do pinch a little bit better. They just don't turn as good, and they're not as fun to ride in my opinion. But I'm not having a lot of trouble pinching on the grinds on here with these Indy mids. So with your 5.0s, you just make sure you're all the way up against that heel side wheel. And sometimes it actually helps to turn it out kind of like a salad, especially on those rough ledges. It seems to slide better if I actually do this. So again, when you're sliding your crooked grinds on a ledge like this, it's good to kind of pinch that heel side wheel and put your weight on your heel to push through. You can do it the other way on this too. It's a little bit hard for me to pinch the crooked grinds on Indies on this. I used to be able to hold them a lot better on the Thunders, but sometimes I feel like it's easier to pop out with the Indies. They have a little spring to them. I don't have the stock bushings in though right now. I've got dodo bushings, so we'll see how that affects everything. It might be better to even completely tweak it out that far. Another thing you can do on a ledge like this is a nose grind. And nose grinds aren't bad, but you kind of have to go fast for a nose grind. If you don't go super fast, then as you pop off, your back truck or your tail are gonna actually hit the end of the ledge, and it's gonna look kind of goofy. I've done a few how to slappy grind videos on this ledge because it is small enough that you can just slappy into it, or you can just kind of tic tac onto it. So to tic tac onto it, you're just putting your front truck on and then your back truck, just, you know, as fast as you can while you're riding towards it. So a tip on the 5.0s, at first you can just kind of hit the last few inches on your back 5.0s, but after that, move on to kind of ollieing on towards the middle and really putting all your weight on your tail and just sliding it until you come to a stop. That is a better idea of what a 5.0 is actually like. That kind of teaches you how to hold it, how to lock into it. So do that for a little while, and then as you get better, you can kind of hold it in the middle like a manual, or you can kind of hold it for longer, come all the way off the end. But yeah, start ollieing on early and trying to hold it until you come to a stop. So if you have something super low like this, metal ledge or even a street ledge that's waxed up, I feel like nollie smiths, if you can just barely lift up on the nose and shove the board up against here, are actually easier to slide and hold onto and pinch into than actually ollieing into a smith, because when you ollie into a smith, you tend to stick and fall forward, dip down like that. But when you nollie into it, you're naturally pushing with your back foot and putting all of your weight on your back foot because you're kind of catching it with your back foot. So I feel like nollie smiths and nollie 5.0s are much easier when you're actually sliding them. They're harder to ollie into, but they're much easier to slide. So the last week or so, I've had these really bad headaches, and when I'm out in the hot sun all day, I have to actually like lay in the grass in the shade next to my car and cool down because my head's throbbing, my jaw goes numb, my teeth start hurting, and they feel like they're being pulled apart. I noticed somebody else on their story on Instagram had these same symptoms, and I'm wondering if it's just like the heat or if it's something else, maybe some kind of frequency attack. No, this is not a fallen headband. I know I've got a 0 shirt and it kind of looks like the fallen symbol, but actually it's just some other brand that kind of stole the exact same symbol. I think it's from like Walmart or something probably. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like this kind of content, reviews, tutorials like this, or just videos about what I'm learning as I grow as a skateboarder, then scroll through my page. I've got a whole bunch of videos on this page, and hit that subscribe button because I've got a lot more videos to come. Thanks for watching.